Hey, what is up? It is the Sports Beard. Jeremiah Maxwell in the house. Wanting to see if anybody wanted to come out and talk some hockey. We're going to post it on Twitter, but not before I get into YouTube action and see how that goes. Hope everybody's doing good. Super excited to have people come in, hang out. I've been doing a bunch of stuff. Hope everybody's having a good summer. We got Denton Matichuk. Hey, Denton, how's it going, buddy? I'm going to have some people on the show today. Anybody that is feeling froggy and wants to come on the show, love to have you. So if you feel like you want to come in, I'll drop the link. And talk some hockey. Yeah, thank you. Denton, I got a Biz Biz Nasty jersey. Yeah, and you're more than welcome to come on the show. Stanley Cup playoffs, and we gotta go Stanley. We gotta get the Stanley Cup in there, right? That's like the coolest trophy in all of the land, right? Like there's nothing better. All right. Sorry about this. What's up with you tonight? Playoff trophy. Let's go. All right. Let's drop the chat. Let's drop it in the chat. Do you want to come on the show? We're taking live and in-person viewers. Come on the show. I'm broadcasting live via Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. I do not know how the Twitter works, but it's there. So, Darkness, how's it going, man? How are you? You were the only one that caught my sly joke, Darkness. You were the only one, the only guy that caught my sly joke about Rangers fans and how impossible they are to live with. Yes, I actually got to go to see Denton Matichuk. I don't know if you're here. I actually went to two Zona games this year. I was able to make it to the Canes. They looked good. They're fast. They're really fast. They played great. They did not have Stahl, but it was like a 6-3 game, so they weren't out of it. Oh, is that true? Is that true that you have it on good authority? Yes, my wife is awesome. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. If you look closely, that is me in the photo. What is going on, Bone Dog? You're just gonna come in and say hi. One of my dogs just said, "Oh, screw your studio, Dad. We're coming on. We're coming on, man. We're coming on." So, if you guys want to come on the show, just click that StreamYard link, and I can accept you if you have. I went to the games in Arizona. It's easy for me in Alaska to get to Arizona. My wife works there. We go there, up to 6 times a year. We've only gotten 2 in the last 6 months, but I didn't go there the last time because we met up in Vegas and we went to the NHL All-Star game. In fact, I got All-Star jerseys. I'll pop on an All-Star jersey. Let's pop on a Tommy Willie. Yeah. It was such a good time. Ray Bro, do you want to come on the show and talk a little playoff hockey? Click the link in the chat, the StreamYard link. Come on in. We can talk about your Oilers, who, you know what, Ray Bro, the Oilers looked so good at the beginning of the year, and then they had that, they didn't look good, and then they got Kane, and then they fired Tippett, and I honestly didn't think firing Tippett was the problem, but boy, I know you're a big fan of the new coach, so I think that's going to be good times. So, yeah, hey, man, we got 3 people in the chat. Been doing some stuff. Been on some other shows like daily, and looks like I'm going to be part of the Shakedown Sports crew, which yeah. Hey, Ray Bro, you're more. You just had hockey camp. All right, that's cool, man. No worries. Hey, Ray Bro, you're one of the few guys that's close to my time zone. You and Bacon. You're only about an hour off me here in Alaska, so I know like Hot Take Hockey went to bed. Oh, the legend tape to tape. Mike, how are you doing, buddy? I feel real bad that Vegas didn't make it. I was rooting for him, man. I know a lot of people weren't rooting for him, but I was rooting for him. I met a lot of really cool people in Vegas. You are the first Vegas fan that I've gotten to know. And you'll always be that to me. So anyway, buddy, you're more than welcome to come in and talk about you want to come on the show, click the StreamYard link and you can come on in and talk with me. You can see I've been doing the Wrestling on the Rocks show every Wednesday. You guys can come here. That's on Wrestling on the Rocks on Twitch or YouTube. This is Sports Beard on YouTube or Twitch. And I also am doing Twitter, but I don't know. I think it just records it. So it's just all audio. I could talk about the Giants draft a little bit. I like the first two picks. I don't know about the other stuff. Yeah, you know what, Mike? I'll tell you. I was just telling my wife if I would love to see the Caps lose to the Florida Panthers. I just like that team's never won a cup. They have Joe Thornton. Oh, look at this. We got Dominic. Dominic clicked the thing. Should I let Dominic on the show? Dominic, you didn't even chime into the chat, my man. You just want to come on the show and talk Caps hockey? All right, let's let Dominic on. Let's see how he does. Dominic, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Jeremiah? Long time no talk, eh?
Hey, buddy, you're on the Sports Beard show. We're talking some hockey.
Yes.
How is life treating you? I don't know if you just heard. I just said I would be good with the Caps losing to the Panthers just so I could enjoy the playoffs.
I definitely heard. I definitely respect your opinion there, my dude.
Okay.
Honestly, I think it's going to be a great Stanley Cup playoffs this year. Like, I know we got some good teams in there, like Colorado, Florida, Los Angeles had a good season, even Edmonton.
That's water, by the way. Liquid death water. Just water we're drinking here, guys. Liquid death, just pure water. Yeah, dude, I there's a lot of teams. I think there's 7 or 8 teams that could win the cup, Dominic. I don't disagree with you. Do you have a question? You have anything you want to say or?
Oh, yeah, I definitely have a question. Who do you think out of all the teams could possibly get the cup this year? I'm going to say Toronto ends their long drought.
So, Dominic, I would love to see that. I threw up a Leafs jersey in the back there for all our Leaf fans. I would love that, dude. I think it would be great for the game. I would love to see Calgary win. I would love to see Minnesota win. The Blues wouldn't be terrible, but they won recently. The Leafs would be great. The Rangers would be great. The Canes wouldn't be terrible. Florida was my pick from the start of the year, and I'm going to stick with them. I didn't even pick them in the bracket challenge because of how well Tampa's been playing. I picked Tampa to go to the finals again, but I picked Colorado to win for Hot Take Hockey's bracket challenge. I'm not going to come off of that, but I still pick the Florida. And Raybro is saying in the chat, he says he has a gut feeling that Nashville goes to the finals. You know what, Raybro? I would agree, but if they don't have Saros, ooh, that's going to be tough. Did you have another question, Dominic, before you head out?
Oh, yes. Who do you think will win the Conn Smythe Trophy? Like, if anyone, if possible, I would have to say Jonathan Huberdeau if the Panthers make the finals.
Yeah, so that's interesting you said that. I said to John tonight on his show, I said I thought Barkov, if they make the finals, I just feel like he has to be their best player. But man, Dominic, I don't think anybody would say that Jonathan Huberdeau is a bad pick. So, well, hey, Dominic, thank you so much for coming on, man. You are my first ever guest on the Sports Beard Show. So, thank you, brother.
Oh, hey, anytime, man.
Have a good one, okay?
You too, man.
All right. Okay, that was cool, Dominic. I think a lot of guys in the hot take hockey know Dominic. Darkness says, I'm seeing these people seeing Wild beat St. Louis. Yeah, Darkness, here's the deal. 15-1-1. You remember as the St. Louis Blues how the Chicago Blackhawks just had your number. I feel like that is literally I feel like how the Wild are. And I think they're primed for bear. They can do it. They have a team. They could be in the finals. They could win the cup. They have a team. And I love their coach, Dean Evison. He was an assistant coach for the Capitals for a long time. Huge fan of him. Would love it. But I just think it's a horrible matchup for them to be playing the Blues in the first round. But you never know. Ray Bro says with Soros, they have the best goaltender, a full future two-time Norris and Yossi, and a hot Duchesne. Yeah. Ray Bro, I agree, but I think every time they've played, even after the trade deadline, they've gotten smoked by Darkness's Blues. And it, like somebody put it in the chat, I think Richard did. 15-1-1. And I thought this year, I thought they were 3-1 against them. So, yeah, I thought the Blues had won 3 of the 4 matchups or whatever. They had only lost 1 game to them. So, whatever reason, the Blues just play them well. They get up. Yeah, you were 3-0. Okay. You only played 3 times. The Blues just have that Wild's number. Now, that being said, they did get better afterwards. So, it'll be interesting to see. So, I put it out on the Twitter. If you know anybody that wants to come talk hockey that wasn't, John, I don't ever give him a hard time. He's on the East Coast. So like it's 11:30 there, it's 7:30 here. It's still light out for another 3.5 hours. So 2.5 hours. So if anybody else wants to come on, you can come on like Dominic did. You don't have to show video. You're more than welcome to. I'd love to get some other people on the show. Probably going to go about an hour and a half. I thought maybe we could look at the bracket challenge that Hot Take Hockey set up, and I don't want to create my own bracket challenge. You guys can just join his NHL bracket challenge. I don't know if he. I could actually just probably click the Discord link and throw his up there, and we could look at picks. Darkness. Denton Matvichuk Simp says, what I have learned is the regular season series doesn't matter in the playoffs. If anything, what happened? What did I do? Let's go. Sorry about that. If anything, in my opinion, it pisses off the other team more and gives them a spark. So, Denton Matvichuk Sam, I will say this. I don't disagree. I think these guys are all professionals. The one series I think that scares me is the Canes and Bruins. I think the Bruins were tanking to play the Kings or the Canes. I think the Canes have some injuries. And I think that, guys, we know you need 3 good lines and a capable 4th line. And you need to have good goaltending and good defense. And you just need to be consistent. And you have to play defensive first hockey. I mean, that's the Caps. That's how they won their cup in 2018. They said, you know what? We're just not going to let anybody past our 5 guys in the zone. You're going to have to dump it in and chase it every time. All 5 on the line, all 5. And that's literally like, if you listen to Alan May, listen to analysts, that's what they talk about. That's what they would do. And so I'm just saying, like, it could easily be, that. So, like I said, there's 5, 6, 7 teams that could really win the championship. So, let me see if we can get that Discord link here. Yeah, I got you. I don't need it. Let me go to the Hot Take Hockey. He posted that. Got it. All right. I'm going to get his bracket challenge up. Somebody posted that in. Oh, that was very nice of, that was really nice of John to post that in there. He did not need to do that. I really appreciate that. He did some promo for me. Anyway, Okay, let's see. Who do we got? Who do we got? Darkness says, here's the thing. It's not the Stars that wins the playoffs. It's a depth, especially depth scoring in the Blues. Third line and second line. Yep, I agree with that 100%. The thing about the Blues, though, Darkness, is they have a lot of depth scoring. I mean, a lot. The question with the Blues isn't the goaltending, it's the defense. So, Darkness, I don't know if you know, I just won my fantasy championship, and I had Billy Husso like most of the year. And I had Kyrou for a good lot of the year. I had Tarasenko. I had to let him go when he got hurt, but it didn't stop me from winning the cup. It actually probably would have helped me because he did really well at the end. Every single Stanley Cup winner has one or two good centers. You got to look at the Kuzi backs from Malcolm Crosby, etc. Ray Bro, I'd agree with you, but I'll tell you right now, the Rangers are not bad up the middle, and their speed is, they just have the Penguins number. I think they were 3-1 against them. I don't know. I think they played them 4 times. They had their number. And they are a fast team, and they are a bad matchup for the Penguins. And I'll tell you, I agree with what you guys are saying, what Darkness, what Denton said. But I'm going to tell you guys, like, straight up, you have to beat the team in front of you. Like, they are I'll just say this. Yes, Ray Bro. Some teams are bad matchups. Pittsburgh, if we got anybody else in the playoffs those years that we were dominating, but Pittsburgh would have lost, we might have won more cups. But the Pittsburgh Penguins had 3 good lines, and they had way better centers. Like, I noticed you mentioned the Caps, but really, honestly, the Caps can't win a faceoff. Hey, Bacon, what's up, man? If you guys want to come on the show and talk or chat, and you don't have to show your face, I know some of you guys are like young and all that good stuff. You can come on. I use a different program, so all you got to do is click the link in the chat, and then I can accept you. You'll have to put your name in there, and you can use your alias. But click the link in the chat if you're welcome to come in. Anybody can come on. Chrome is the preferable browser for StreamYard, is the program I'm using. But got my little logo up there, learning, going, trying to push. But every Wednesday, you can come check out your old pal Jeremiah on Wrestling on the Rocks via WrestlingOnTheRocks.com or Wrestling on the Rocks YouTube or Wrestling on the Rocks Twitch or Wrestling on the Rocks Facebook Live. And come watch me talk about wrestling if you care about that. Little little Stone Cold action there. A little WWE. We just talked WWE. I stole that from Pat McAfee, but he doesn't use the cool Stone Cold belts like me. So I'm just saying. Just pull from the good. So if anybody we already got Dominic on. He asked some great questions. Click the link. Didn't even come in the chat, but came in and asked some great questions. Thank you so much, Dominic, for coming on. First ever Sports Beer guest. Sports guest. Let's go. So anybody wants to come on, and again, you don't have to show your camera. You can just do audio, but love to have you on there. And look, can I show Ray Bro's? There you go. There's Ray Bro saying, this is Ray Bro. If you don't know, follow the old Ray Bro. He is a excellent hockey scout. He is going to work in this industry as long as he wants to. Big time Edmonton Oilers fan, so don't hold it against him. He's from there and grew up there. And boy, Edmonton, man, I don't think they're far away. The numbers that McJesus is putting up is just absolutely ridiculous. They just got to get some of those young guys to play. So, like I said, click the link. So welcome to come on in and chat. Who do we have left? My dogs are going nuts in the backyard. So sorry about that. Dogs. I don't know if that's filtered out. Come on in and just talk. I want to hear your opinions. What's my bracket looking like? I was gonna get that. I was gonna pull that up. Let's see the Discord. I was gonna pull up HTH's bracket. Let's go to the bracket where I thought he had the bracket. It's yeah, here we go. He threw in the bracket. Let's see. Is it showing me the live chat replay? It is not. Okay, I'll just find it. I'll just find it. NHL. I am not prepared. That's you got to do all your prep work early. And I did not. I kind of thought about this at the last minute. So let's do this. Let's close the Discord. And let's share the screen. Bacon, no doubt he's going to kill them. Edmonton might straight up sweep. Yeah, you know what? I would normally say that you're not wrong, Bacon. But they have gotten some serious. So here we go. Here's the bracket. Let's go in. I'll show you my sign in. And then I did a bracket. So here's the HT. So let's just look at the bracket here real quick. Oh, hey, look at this. We got the legend himself. Ray Bro, what's up, buddy?
Not much. How about you?
Hey, good, buddy. Yeah, thank you for letting me know you joined the link. How's life treating you? That way you didn't have to get cleaned up from your hockey camp. You could just come in. It's nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad whatsoever. Yeah.
Good, man. Yeah. And he taught you so I threw my bracket up here real quick. I'll just say, yeah, Ray Bro is an elite guest star. Hey, and that's coming from a Flames fan. Like, that's Bacon just giving you a lot of respect there, Ray Bro. You are an elite guest. You know your hockey. So I know I said I picked Florida at the beginning of the year, and Florida was my cup champion, and that's the guy I picked to win the cup. But after doing the bracket and just seeing Tampa and such, they're just in the fine form right now. And they just look like they're on a mission to do what no one has ever done. Since the Oilers, since your Oilers, Ray Bro, right? Weren't your Oilers the last to win 3 in a row? Or did they win 2? It might be the Islanders.
I think either the Islanders or the Oilers, one of those two, because those are the biggest dynasties at that time.
Yeah, let me look here. Let's see. Stanley Cup winners. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I want to say Edmonton was the last. I thought Edmonton won 3 in a row, but Ray Bro, you'd know. I would know. I mean, yeah, they won 2, and then Montreal won that 86, and they won 2 in a row again. Yeah, that makes sense. The Islanders won 4 in a row. The Canadians won 4 in a row. The Flyers won 2 in a row. The last team to win before the Canadians from 76 to 79 were the 1962, 63, 64 Toronto Maple Leafs. They won 3 in a row. Yeah, the original 6 stuff is tough, though, when you don't have a thing there. So, yeah, we got a lot of – but last time Edmonton made the Cup final, what was that, Ray Bro? You got to remember.
2006 against Carolina.
František Kaberle had the game-winning goal.
I think Rolison was injured, no? I think.
Yeah, Rolison got hurt, and my fellow Anchorage, Alaskan Ty Conklin had to come in and fill in for the.
Yeah, he didn't do too bad.
That happened in the second round.
Yeah.
Or was it the first game of the finals or something? I remember.
It has been the finals because I remember looking back, Rolison was playing.
Dwayne Rolison backed up Dominik Hasek 4 years and was a heck of a goalie and gets his chance finally. And he gets hurt in the Cup finals. Yeah. And that could have been the difference, dude. That was a 7-game series. That was a 7. The next year, the Ducks won the Cup, and they won it in 5 games. and then you got the Red Wings going, and then you got the Pens, and then Blackhawks started their run. Somebody in the chat, did you guys see in the chat today on Hot Takes channel? Somebody was like, "Oh, I'd love to see the Kings do something." I'm not going to call this person out by name. They haven't done anything since Gretzky. Did Darkness? I think you saw that. Yeah, they have done.
They won.
something.
They won. A few cups.
They won 2010 and they won
2012 and 2014.
Yeah, 2012 and 2014. My bad. I always say 2010, but I always
one against the 2012 against the Devils and the Rangers for 2014.
Yeah, I can't forget the Rangers one, man. I was there rooting for I have a good friend Greg here in town who was a hell of a hockey player himself. But anyway, this is my bracket for Hot Take Hockey's challenge, and this is how I have it going down. I tried to pick with my head, not my heart. I do hope we get a Battle of Alberta in the second round.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Don't sleep on the Kings. I would not sleep on the Kings. And then we talked about this Darkness. I just I don't have any. I have no hope for Minnesota. It just feels like, and I love that team. They're good. I think if they played Calgary, that would be a tough matchup for Calgary. If they played Edmonton, I think Edmonton would get manhandled.
Oh, 100%. They've been.
Yeah. Didn't you guys just get the shit kicked out of you by them? Like,
not even once, like multiple times. Like you've been horrible against the Wild this season.
What do you mean, Bacon? Win or lose, Boa is going to be insane.
He meant the Battle of Alberta.
Oh, yes. If we get a Battle of Alberta, it will be – I think it is, in my opinion, the best. That is that game this year that was like 9-5.
Oh, yeah.
That was what a game that was. And I lean a little bit Calgary, but I don't – I just – my only thing with Edmonton is the owner and just them like tanking forever. But like I grew up when Gretzky – I used to watch those guys all the time. I loved it. Messier, Curry. My favorite Edmonton Oiler of all time, Bill Guerin. I love the American guys. Doug Wake, Bill Guerin, when they played for them, I really liked those guys. So
honestly, I like the Pisani, Fernando Pisani. What a legend on the Oilers.
Hey, Salty's in the chat. We can have more than one guest on too. I can have up to 10. I just was trying to limit it. So you guys see the bracket. I have the Avs winning the cup here. I think if Tampa makes it and the Avs make it, but I'll tell you, Blues could beat Avs. Wild could beat Avs. Calgary could beat Avs. I would not be sad. Ray Bro, I want to ask you this. As a diehard Edmonton Oilers fan, but you're also a Canadian, would you be okay with the Calgary Flames winning the cup and ending the curse for Canada?
Yes and no, because like obviously you got the the rivalry between Calgary and Edmonton, but also it's like it's good to see a Canadian team win aside from American team. But either way, it's like for me, it's like I don't really, not that like of course it's fun to be in like rivalries and stuff like that, but like not, it's like I just want to see like fun hockey. I mean, last year when it comes to the finals, it was very boring. It wasn't fun at all, but like always like the first rounds have been so much high octane, like high pace, like kind of game that's very good.
Ray Bro, something interesting I didn't think about for the last 3 cup finals. Oh, we got Hot Take in.
Oh, okay.
Hey, so for the last 3 cup finals, do you realize we've had an interim coach? So Berube for the Blues was the interim and won. He beat Bruce Cassidy good because I cannot stand Bruce Cassidy. I think he's a bitch. Then you had Rick Bowness, who was the interim. He lost. And then you had Don Ducharme.
Yeah.
So we had 3. Now, we had 3 interim coaches. So,
well, I think with Don Ducharme, he's a horrible coach. I think that honestly,
I got a question for you on this.
He's not good.
So
Uh,
our mutual friend, sorry to cut you off there. Our
okay.
mutual friend Harry Rice was a huge not Don Ducharme fan. He could not wait for him to go.
Yeah.
And Bacon's like the Cassidy slander. I just am not a fan of him, Bacon. It's like his players never take penalties, and I don't know. He just seems like he's like I don't know. He's a little bit of a whiner, crybaby bitch to me, quite frankly. And I'm just not a fan. And quite frankly, if Boston was playing anybody other than the Canes, I would be rooting hardcore. The only reason I am not picking the Canes, you guys saw the bracket, is they're starting goaltenders out. And I do not know what they were doing by not keeping the kid that went to I know that he didn't do well for Detroit, but Detroit can't play defense. Like they are awful defensively. So like he would have been much better. I'm talking about Nedeljkovic, right? Is it Nedeljkovic?
Yeah, Nedeljkovic.
He's an American kid. I think he's Serbian family, but he's an American kid. I actually think he has a chance to be a good
I know
one.
you played with Niagara in the O. I remember fondly of him playing. I think against Josh. I think it was on Josh Hosang's team in 2015. I'm not too sure, but it was in 2015. But yeah.
Well, hey, Ray, bro, we have a real quick question from you, and then you don't have to hang out. Salty, our friend Salty, who is a Wings and Avs fan, which grew up when I grew up. It's like impossible. He has a question about. Can you see on the screen? I don't know if you see. Ray, bro, is Havlat getting drafted first round, and is his brother next year?
I mean, for me, with Matthias Havlat, I have him at 27 in my rankings. I think he's a perfectly fine pick at the first round. And I think teams would probably highly value him. He's such a good, puck moving team man. Good skater, has a good shot, and it was fantastic with Sweden as they won gold, today against USA. But I mean, it's not. I mean, he's also European, so I guess there's that some sort of factor when it comes to teams not picking. They want to pick the good old Canadian kid or American kid, but I think for me he should be a first round pick, but like it wouldn't be a surprise if he falls down to maybe like an early second or mid second, really. And I think for his brother, I mean, which he was really good. I think the whole tournament he's been lights out, but like obviously I gotta wait.
Real quick, Raybo, I've been so busy with a couple other shows I work on right now in the backdrop. One being the Shakedown Sports Crew, and we did the draft this whole weekend. And then one being the Wrestling on the Rock show that I do every Wednesday. But they're not on my platform; they're on my show, and so I haven't had a lot of time to watch like outside of the NHL stuff. Was that the under-18 tournament that was postponed in Edmonton and they moved it? I thought that was
no. That was the World Juniors. They're gonna have that in August.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what I thought. I thought the World Juniors are gonna be in August. Okay, so yeah. Did you see Hot Take Hockey's?
I mean, it's not really a rumor because I said it in the Discord, John. I think like if the Leafs get past their like mental block, their like psychology going into the playoffs, they're easily like a team that could go far. Like they probably have one of the best rosters, hands down, out of the whole 16 teams in this playoffs. But like it's just the mental game for sure. It's like I don't know if they need like I don't know right now this year they have like a sports psychologist or whatnot because the last few years they've been not too good. But I will say,
Ray, bro, let me ask you this. So I don't feel like they choked against Montreal. I think that they lost their second line center, which would have been huge for them. And I think that team could have gone to the Cup final and could have given Tampa Bay a lot more of a run for their money than Montreal did. But the thing about Montreal, and this is why I told Harry Rice they were going to be terrible. They had the best defensive center work I have seen in the playoffs,
but ever. Horrible coaching.
But honestly though, I don't feel like I know enough about the game to critique Dominic Ducharme's coaching in that. But I'll say this: he got him the Cup final. Like they shouldn't beat Vegas. I think the Avalanche choked on an opportunity there. I don't think they're as deep and good as they are now. The Avalanche this year. But I feel like, I think McKinnon knows like that window is not going to stay open forever. But between Suzuki, the big one for me was the guy that Phil Deneau.
Yeah.
So I think that Phil Deneau, is such a good defensive center, and you saw when he's in a little bit more of an offensive. I think he had over 20 goals this year for the Kings, and I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I think that the Kings are a bad matchup for Edmonton with that defensive center work. Name two better defensive centers. If I take Patrice Bergeron out of the picture, because we all know he's great. I said to my buddies in 2005, if I could pick one player in the league, maybe it was like 2008 or something. I said I would not pick Crosby because at the time he was having a lot of concussion. I go, I'd pick Bergeron. If I could build my team around one guy, I would pick Bergeron. Yeah. Salty says that he believes. Yeah. So Bacon said Lindholm from the Flames.
Yeah.
No problem with that, Bacon, and he's going to need to be there, being defensively. They're going to need everything they can from that team. Go ahead.
I'm gonna cut you off here, but like I think with Edmonton and LA, I mean either way, like although I'm a huge fan of Edmonton, I love LA. Second favorite team. I have a jersey again, trying to get Byfield on it. It's for some time now.
I know
I think
that, buddy.
watching both like teams when I can as much as possible, they're very comparable. Like they're probably one of the closest similar teams. I think overall. I think with Edmonton, they have a better offensive. Like they have McDavid, Draisaitl. Kane has been hot lately. They got Puljujarvi, even though he hasn't been finishing, he's been really good in other aspects of the game. I think in terms of their offense, like their forward depth has been better than last year, or even years before. You know the rebuild, and obviously like that. And I think the defense, although been inconsistent at their best, they've been pretty solid. It's more or less the goaltending because Jonathan Quick, if Jonathan Quick gets the goal, like the defense that he needs, because he played the best out of like he had in the NHL probably the most hardest workload because his defense wasn't, it was very suspect.
Well, and I think Peterson had some injury problems, right?
Yeah,
I kind of expected those two at the beginning of the season. I actually drafted Peterson because I thought he was going to get the lion's share of the starts. I thought they were going to rest Quick. I thought, what I thought they were going to do, Ray-Bro, quite frankly, you may not be old enough
try to phase out Quick and try to.
Well, not to phase him out. Do you remember the year the Red Wings finally broke through and won the Cup? You might not have been alive. But I think it was 97. 97, the first year they won the Cup that they hadn't won in forever. They played Chris Osgood like the whole season. Like he played like the lion's share of the games. And then they brought in Mike Vernon for the playoffs. And Vernon was the Flames goalie in that 89 Cup championship. So it was a ways back, right? But he was still a really good goalie, really salty. Yes, salty. It was 97. I know I'm old and stuff like that. So Bacon has a question for you, Ray Bro, since you're answering a lot of questions and I left you on the show a little bit, but you're a little bit of an SME. Do you see his question?
Yeah, I see him.
Hey, Ray Bro, I'm going to get a water real quick and let you, I want to give you one pointer. Just step back from your microphone a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of feedback. Just a little bit of, you're too close to it, I think. I can hear you breathing a little much.
Oh, okay. I think this is good. I don't know. Bacon. I think Fogo has been really solid, really good, top 9 winger for sure. McLovin. I think he was probably one of the really good piece. I mean, obviously, I would have Bear in our system, but I think with Fogle, he's been a really solid. He's been putting up goals. He has the speed, he has the hitting to his game. Overall, he's a guy that the coaches want on the lineup, and I think he's probably one of the next factor for this playoffs run as Edmonton goes to verse LA. And like what Salty said there with McLeod, I think McLeod, I mean, it's his rookie season. I mean, although his points isn't too much. Like you can watch him and he has speed. He has the hands to his game. Obviously, with McLeod, he's a guy who can bring value to the bottom six with the high octane speed and stuff like that. And I'm really excited, especially since that Jay Woodcroft is able to utilize them way better than what David did early on in the season. I believe uh, there was a stat on Twitter where it's Edmonton was like first since Jay Woodcroft uh, got into the head coaching role. Like they were first in the league ever since then. Like even high in like stats and stuff like that. Goals against are less, and like our save percentage with Koskinen and Smith have been way better as a result. I think it went from like an 8.99 to like a 9.15 or 9.12, which is really solid.
Real quick, I personally hate Fogle because he cheap shotted TJ Oshie in the playoffs the year after we won the cup, and there was no penalty called. I felt like he should have gotten at least a major. But I did think he was a good ad for Edmonton. I missed most of what you were saying, but I did want to ask you this specifically about Woodcroft. What is he doing differently?
I think he has a perspective to his game that's like a lot different than what Tiffin's like been in the league like for a long time. He's an old rugged coach. I think with Jay Woodcroft, most of the players he's playing for right now been in the AHL, been in Woodcroft's system. They know him really well, and I think he's able to, incorporate some of the young parts of the game, or the young, fast parts of the game, and also bring fundamentals that's brings some value. Like the Oilers' defense have been a lot better overall. They've been a lot more work ethic. You see McDavid and Draisaitl being a little more defensively minded.
Yeah, I know that Draisaitl plays the PK, but I've seen him look awful defensively.
Yeah.
And McDavid, to me, and I'm not trying to talk large crap about McDavid. I think he is. I've never seen a player like Connor McDavid. Let me just say this. I heard somebody say that Draisaitl was a better passer than him. I don't know. I
They're
think
very close. They're very close.
I think McDavid's speed allows him to get those lanes, but you still have to be able to make the pass. So, and he usually, the problem with McDavid is he needs a guy. Quite frankly, Evander Kane has been a huge ad. I mean, that's the most important player.
He's such a finisher. He's been such a finisher.
Yeah, you need a guy that can finish at the net, because McDavid likes to do. We had this player in Alaska named Keystreet who used to do this little backhand pass, and he wasn't good at it. He would always turn it over the blue line. I mean, he was very good for the West Coast, East Coast, West Coast Hockey League at the time. It was West Coast, but he didn't have the speed and talent that McDavid had. I sometimes feel like McDavid almost just goes, I don't know what to do with the puck. I'm just going to backhand pass. and 9 times out of 10, it gets turned over or whatever. But it's been much more. Kane's such a good finisher. He's already one of those guys that likes to be down low below the hash marks there. He that's where he makes his money. He's a tough enough guy that he can't be pushed around, which I'm not saying Edmonton was a weak team. I mean, they had Lucic, but he didn't fit in that team. They traded him away.
Didn't do anything in our system, really.
Well, it's just because, Ray, they're too fast. He fits great with Calgary because he doesn't have to be fast. And sometimes you just got to, I'm not saying you tell McDavid to be slow because it would ruin him as a player. I mean, I feel like he's not going to be near as good when he loses his speed, but he's still going to be better than 70% of everybody. So, real quick before we get to what Denton said, Salty has a question. Which player do you think will go beast mode? Let's just throw this up for the whole playoffs. And I'll throw my bracket back up there so we could just go
each from each team, or
no, I mean it doesn't have to be each team. Let's just look at the bracket there, and who do you think is a guy that could just take over a playoff series? Denton says he says watch out for Brandon Saad this year, and Saad is playing for the Blues, correct? If I'm wrong.
I think.
Yeah. He's with the Blues this year. He was on the Avs last year. Yeah. Saad has a ton of playoff experience. He's a guy that probably won't be, too much of the moment for him. So, yeah, Salty says he's with the Blues. I believe he's with the Blues. Yeah, those are the type of guys, Salty, that's and Denton. Those are the type of guys that step up in the playoffs. Point is the guy most recently I can think that's gone full beast mode, and he's done it basically 2 years in a row, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna throw in like a hot take or whatnot, but
Yeah.
I think Buchnevich. I think he's gonna go really
Wow.
good. On
I told my wife, Ray Bro, for those who are listening and don't know, my wife is a huge Rangers fan. If you were in the chat and you saw a Jeremiah Maxwell commenting about how difficult it is to live with Rangers fans and stuff, Darkness caught it. He's not with us anymore, but my wife is a Rangers fan, and so I made the joke. I couldn't get John. He had 200 and some odd people in his stream. We have 6. So Salt wants Laugh to go off or Kako is what Salty says. That's who he'd like to see those guys. Yeah, Salty. Kako's been hurt and he's back now. Like I said, the Rangers are a bad matchup for the Penguins. The Penguins are old and slow. And Malkin likes to play defense when he wants to play. Now they're so good in the playoffs. I expect them to be good. The thing that I think is that the Rangers had their number in the regular season, and they had Shesterkin. Shesterkin wasn't largely the reason the Rangers beat the Pens, but I believe that my beast mode guy to go back, I believe is going to be Shesterkin. I have them going to the conference finals. I do have them losing to Tampa, even though I said Florida was my prognostic, but for the bracket challenge, I picked Tampa. Just they're way hot, and sometimes it's matchup. Sometimes it's matchup. The Leafs come in, they're playing okay. They beat up some teams they're supposed to beat. But they're not playing, I didn't tell our good friend Hot Take Hockey too. I'm pretty salty about like Ovechkin getting tripped and no penalty called. Like I thought that was like you don't have to have the puck to be a penalty. Okay. Oh, he didn't have the puck. Okay. You can still trip a guy with your stick. I thought it was a dirty play. And I think if there wasn't the world events going on, I think there would have been more of an outcry. So I'll say this, Salty. I told my wife I thought the Rangers needed to add, right? And I love the Cop Vetrano ad. I think the Rangers they lap depth scoring based on Ray Bro's pick of Buchnevich. Hey Ray, I noticed you're not going by that in the chat anymore. Do you want me to just call you Ray?
Yeah, it's fine.
Are you done with the Ray Bro? Is that going the way of the dinosaur and we've retired that?
I don't know. Some people still got me Ray Bro. Some people
But I can call you Ray. Hey, Ray was my grandfather's name. Hey, I love the man. Rest in peace. He's been gone for a long time. Raymond is a great name. I love Raymond. I don't know if that's your full name. That was his name. Yeah, I know your full name, but I'm not going to say it on live TV. But I love it. If you're going by Ray, I'm good with it, man. Not a problem. The Ray Bro can go away. Not a problem. We all outgrow things. We got Bob Morton in the chat. He's saying, go Oilers. So, Bob, if you don't know, the guest I have on, Ray, is a big-time Edmonton Oilers fan. We were just talking about, just to leave a like and subscribe if you guys are interested. Salty says Lucas Raymond. Yeah, Salty, I think he's not going to be playing. So, Mason Raymond is what Bacon says. Is there who's Mason Raymond play for? I'm trying to refresh my memory.
Mason Raymond. I have no clue.
Yeah. So Bob says right on, Ray. He's a big fan. So Bob, what we were doing, if you're just coming into the chat, we were picking who could go full beast mode. I said Igor Shesterkin. I think that the Rangers were already a bad matchup for the Pens, and the Pens lost their starting goalie. And by the way, guys, I went to the NHL All-Star game this year, and Tristan Jarry stole the All-Star game for the Metro Division. He played amazing. He was on it. And I got to tell you, I was a little bummed out he got hurt because I know he took a lot of shit last year for them losing in the playoffs. And yeah, he did play for the. That's it. Mason Raymond did play for the Nucks. So I think he was on that 2011 team that went to the Cup Finals and lost to Boston. But that's correct. That's I'm pretty sure that's correct. That's Salty going and Bob chimes in that Igor is amazing. Yeah, he's very good. I just think that's going to be the guy that could go full beast mode and just like he's played so well, so fundamentally sound. He's definitely the cream of the Russian goalies right now, and I'd even include Vasilevsky in that. A lot of the Tampa games I've seen this year, Vasilevsky has not looked as good as he had in the past. Where I saw in the playoffs last year, he stole games for them. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, tell your friends, leave a like. I'm going to go about 10 more minutes. Ray, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about, Ray? I can let you go. By the way, guys, you're more than welcome to come in and chat with us. Just click the link in the chat. You do not have to be on camera, but would love to have you on camera. I've had Dominic and I've had Ray. Ray is a draft expert. He spends a lot of his. Are you still doing a lot of scouting and stuff, Ray? What you got going on?
I mean, at this point, I'm just looking for fun guys. Just looking more at like I'm already at like 100 players looked at 100 right now. I'm just.
Are you still scouting for?
Yeah, I'm looking through games. Obviously, the people I already tracked. I'm looking at players that fun players that are in like in the leagues, the lower leagues or whatever. Just to put them on there for sure. But like as of now, like I'm just more or less rounding up before. I mean, we still got lots of time before the NHL draft still. So, I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
we'll look at everyone.
July in Montreal, correct?
Yep.
And I believe who's the gal that's always in the Discord for Hot Take Hockey? She's going. The Flyers fan.
I think.
Cannot think
Minka.
of her name. Minka. Minka is going to Montreal, which I've always wanted to go to Montreal. I want to get there. That would be a cool thing to go to. Probably wait all the craziness, pandemic stuff to go away. But yeah, you did. You just took a trip to Ottawa earlier in the summer.
Yeah.
Little vacation.
Not summer, spring break.
Oh, spring break. Yeah. Bacon nailed it. Minka going to anybody else going to go to the NHL? I love the NFL draft. I watched religiously the first 3 rounds. I didn't watch the late rounds this year because I just was like not that interested. But I love the NHL draft and try to watch all 7 rounds of that. So maybe we do a live Sports Spirit Sports draft-a-thon. I don't know. We'll see. I try not to go when people I know are going, like when Hot Take Hockey is going. I try not to do a stream or anything. I wouldn't have followers if it wasn't for John. So I feel like it's and then I popped in the Discord tonight to ask if anybody was interested, just gauging interest, but not self-promoting, but because I knew there was a bunch of diehard hockey fans in there that would love to come on and just chat. And then John, being the cool guy he is, like posted in there and says, "Hey, go check out Jeremiah." And I don't know about you guys, but so cool to see John call some OHL games this year. I feel like his future is in play-by-play because if I do a playoff game, we're doing this. We're talking, right? I am not doing a play-by-play of it's. I mean, I know the players' names and I try to say them. It's hard. It's hard. You got to be good at it. And I'm 45 years old, man. Like I'm not getting any faster or better at anything. It's hard for me to get out of bed some days. I mean, I get up super early, but I mean, like physically, it hurts. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's good to see. I mean, John, I think when he first did it against, I think it was Oshawa, like he DM'd me or whatnot, like before anyone else, like, yeah, keep on the low, just don't tell anyone. So I already knew before some people, I guess. It was actually really sick though. Still, that John was, play by play. Man, I think I could see like for sure him being on TV. I know for me, like, I mean, I do play by play like for fun, but like I don't want to go there. I'd rather just be the guy. Hopefully, someone comes knocking in the DMs, be
Ray,
like,
bro, you were a future scout, and John is a future Hall of Fame hockey announcer. I think. You're a future GM, and he's a future like play-by-play guy, and that's not a knock on him. I think John could do all whatever he wants. So Salty can't come on because he's got to go to bed. But he says they about Tampa Bay specifically, they play with speed and physicality, perfect for the playoffs. I agree. The only thing I would say about Tampa is I wonder if their ads are enough. Now, they were enough for me to get them to the finals. I feel like the East has been tight, but like Boston's dealing with a little bit of injury stuff. I still think Boston has questions in goal. I love Swayman. He's an Alaska kid. I just don't know that he's ready to carry the load. And it looks like Olmark's going to get the start there anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I believe that's the case. Now, this being said too, Hot Take brought up a little bit in his show tonight, but Husso's starting for the Blues. He's been far and away the better goalie, and he's played fine. Like he's not. He's in the top 10 of goalies. Like I don't win. I don't win. I finished my fantasy playoffs championship. By the way, Red Road, I mean, I heard I won the championship. Well, I beat Trevor today finally because he had Kyle Connor, and so the actual season ended today with the Jets and the Seattle Kraken. But I agree. Salty. He says the only way to stop them is to trap them. You got to block shots and have possession. Exactly what the Caps did in 2018 to them, and they got down 3-2 to them, and they came back and I think they shut them out game 6 and 7. So Bacon says Bennington peaked once. LOL. Since then, he's been incredibly mild. Yeah, Bennington hasn't been good. I think he was pretty solid last year. I think the bubble, he had some injuries. The 2020 bubble, he had some injuries. They just weren't the same team. They could never get that. The legend Thomas Viv in the chat. What's up, Thomas? If you want to come on the show, click the link. You can do so. Might keep it going here for a few more. Go ahead, Ray, bro. What were you gonna say?
I was just probably gonna add in Jordan Binnington has been the greatest. I mean, I wonder what the Blues are gonna do with Husso since I think he's UFA. I mean, I don't know how much cap space they have, but like they're gonna need to re-sign him, or he's gonna go to free agency, which is not good for them, for sure. And
Husso?
Yeah, Husso, yeah.
Yeah, because they have Bennington locked up to a large.
Yeah. 6 mil, I think 5 or 6. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, Thomas, we're just talking playoff, garbage, and you're welcome to click the link. I've kept you so long, Ray, bro. You've helped me through the show. I hate to keep you. You're welcome to stay on, but my original intent was just to have someone on and let them move on. But you were like a SME. That's a military term for. Do you know what it stands for?
I have no clue.
SME, subject matter expert. So you can use that. You are a subject matter expert. You spend a lot of time talking about the draft, watching hockey. Really love your insights. So appreciate having you on. You're welcome to stick around.
I got stuff to do.
Okay. Hey, Ray, thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna probably end the stream in 5 or 10 minutes anyway. So thank you so much for coming on. Everybody check out Ray. Where do they go if they want to find some of your content?
I'm mostly I guess on Twitter because that's where I post my articles for the draft for sure. I got stuff for recruit scouting. Recently I did it on Gleb Trigazov, who potentially might be in the top 15, might be out depending on what teams value. But I have that currently. If you want to check it out, it'll be on my Twitter at Rayan_2back or Ray, bro. You search it. on Twitter. But yeah, that's what I'm going for as of currently. And yeah, I mean, thanks for having me on, guys.
Oh, thank you so much for being on. I got one final question for you that we didn't talk about this because we didn't spend a lot of time talking about the draft. What do you think the implications of this Ukraine war with the Russian players? Is that gonna mix it up, or do you think they're still gonna take the? Because I know the NHL ended the agreement with the KHL, and there's a lot of vitriol going on. I personally feel like none of the Russian players should take any of this. It has nothing to do with them. It has to do with the crazy a-hole they have in charge of them. And I mean, like Ovechkin's on record saying he didn't want to take the photo of Putin off his Instagram because he feared for his family. Like he said that straight up. Like he's like, he said way more. He's like, war's bad, and he said way more than I thought he would say. And everybody's like, well, he's a lackey for Putin. Well, I've seen just as many pictures with Evgeny Malkin, but he's taken zero criticism. So I'll just say, I feel like some Russian players are being fairly painted badly, and some are getting a hall pass. And we know Panarin has spoke out against Putin for a long time, and yet he dealt with a lot of implications of that because the guy is an absolute mob boss. We know what he is. He's a scumbag. And I really hope that the people of Ukraine are safe and this is over soon. But I think this is going to end very, very, very badly. I hope we don't see nuclear weapons launch. Anyway, no one turned in to hear my theory about I did spend 25 years in the military. If you know my background, I do get a little bit nervous when things happen overseas. So, but I did want your opinion on what you thought would happen with the Russian players, because I know
obviously it's bound to happen. Like that's gonna happen regardless of whether we want to or not. I mean, I think with what's going on, it's gonna be very hard. Especially, I mean, we see the CHL blocking off Belarusian players and CHL players from entering the import draft. I think that's a weird decision.
You mean Russian players into the CHL draft?
Yeah, and Belarus.
Belarus. Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, it's gonna be a matter of if the player, like, if you're gonna get the player, hopefully the player is like, okay, bring me to America really quickly, and then play in the AHL. I think that's what the teams would be hoping for if they want to suck players, but like, it's gonna be really hard.
So let me clarify this with you. This is very interesting. I'm sorry, I know you said you wanted to go. If you're Mishkov, let's just go Mishkov, because we know he's probably going to be number 1 or number 2 next year, right? Behind, he's going to be number 2, but Bedard's going number 1. That's happening. Bedard's too good to not go number 1, and he's Canadian, and there's not going to be any of this drama. So, and I don't anticipate this war will be over by next year, but we'll see. That could happen. So, is a team that drafts Mishkov not going to be allowed to let him? Now, I would think a guy at that caliber they'd try to put him on the NHL roster anyway. So some middling Russian player that would normally go play in the CHL, like Ontario Hockey League, Quebec Major Junior, Western Hockey League, whatever, won't be able to do so. They will have to play in the AHL or ECHL.
Here's what I'm gonna think, because I mean, we see the economic,
down. No. I mean, is that the case? Because you said they I don't. I mean, you might have read more about this.
Because what I'm here, I think, because with the KHL being like, the money's gone, like the money is quickly disappearing. So right. I think because Mitch gonna have this contract, I think by 2023, I think the contract is gone because the KHL might not have any money left, right? Mm-hmm. So they can easily I think my theory is with the KHL, if it's the money's gone, the league somehow crumbles, Mitchkov can just go. I assume that the team can easily do an entry level contract, and try to get him in. I mean, hopefully it's not a situation where it's Alexander McGillney where they're gonna have to defect him. But if they can, I know with the Leafs, Ovechkinov, if how you say it, Dmitry Ovechkinov, already they got him into Toronto, which is good, and he's playing I think the AHL, and I can see a lot more Pomerov Palmera, how do I say it, for Carolina, but I think they're gonna really have to try hard in terms of defecting them to the NHL. I'm thinking they're probably gonna be playing the AHL. I think the AHL with the rules of Europeans. I don't think Europeans have to be in the CHL. I think that's the exception. I think only Canadian players, if they're under 20 or whatnot, or 18, they have to be in CHL. But with the Europeans, it's going to go strictly to the AHL. I think that happened with Zadina too, when he got drafted. So I think it's really it depends on the matter. Going back to your last question on, or it's this one about the teams wanting to pick Russian players. I think it really comes back to it's just situational.
They finished their season too, did they not?
Yeah, I think for the KHL, I think they done the season.
They ended it quickly, like within like as soon as they got back from the Olympic break, they were like, "Oh, we're going right into the playoffs." Because I think Putin, like he knew he was going to invade the Ukraine, so he didn't want it to be a distraction. So this gal I put on the screen, Jillian Kimmerer, I've heard her in some interviews, and I know she used to cover, and she follows me, and I've heard her on some interviews. I don't know if she's there now, but she was in Russia covering the KHL, and she lived there. It does not show now where she's at. I may check out if she was. I believe she was in Moscow. She was in there. So I'll see what's up there as far as this. I think this is the on the February 24th. This was the well, I don't know. I can't remember. Is it the Grigori Cup or Gagarin Cup? It's right in front of you, the Gagarin Cup. Yeah, so that's their like version of Stanley Cup. So, it looks like this guy Lars Johansson was the guy that didn't somebody try to bring him into the NHL?
I have no clue. I know one guy, Andre, like a lot of teams from the Oilers to Senators are looking to Andre Commence. I don't know how you say his name. I don't want to butcher it, but he has a lot of interest.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know what they're gonna do with with the current situation. I don't know if it's gonna be an Alex McGillney situation or it's probably gonna be a simple flight in. It really is just like a just adapting to day by day, I guess.
If you watch the Russian 5 documentary, you know that a lot of the Russian players, even in the 90s, were defecting. Fedorov, Konstantinov, all those guys defected to come over. And that might be the case again, unfortunately. It sucks because it keeps the great Russian play. I wonder if players like Malkin and Ovechkin don't return to Russia. I know that Ovechkin's family is in Russia right now. Like his wife and his kids, they did not come back because I think part of it was Russia didn't really have a lot of restrictions like the States did. And I could tell you Arizona was pretty lax. It's been pretty lax. Like I went to Vegas, like we had to wear masks everywhere. And I was like, oh, wow, Arizona, you don't have to wear masks. I was like, oh, I have to wear masks. Alaska, we haven't had to wear masks. Now, we did wear masks for a long time in Alaska, but it was, it's really only the city I live in because everybody else is very spaced out. So, like, nobody cared outside of Anchorage, because there's nobody close. So I just wonder if some of those players would maybe change their mind and leave their family. But Ray, bro, you've been trying to go for a while, and I'm going to end the broadcast on that note. I really appreciate everybody coming in. We had the legend himself, Hate Kaki. Thank you for promoting the stream. Hate Kaki, I always do what I can for you, and I'm glad that you're back, and I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I hope I get to make I won't be in as many streams as I was in the past just because I've been so busy doing this streaming stuff, but super excited. Bacon, thank you guys. Everybody that came in, Thomas Viv, all you guys, thank you so much. Salty, I really appreciate it. My lovely wife came in and chimed in. So Ray, thank you so much for your expertise on the draft. And this is going to be really interesting to see what happens going forward with the Russian thing. Super stoked. I know you got your teams in the playoffs, man. Both our teams are in the playoffs. I personally will say I will not be sad if my team gets eliminated just so I can enjoy the playoffs. But we'll see. But guys, thank you so much. Leave a like, subscribe. Hit that noti thing because I'm probably not going to do a ton of these noties. Summer is here in Alaska, guys. I like to be the ice gone, we on. I you know me, I spent some time on the lake and I am all about getting out there and doing some lake action and paddleboarding with my dogs. I know you guys know that about me. So would love to have everybody come every time. So thanks so much, Ray, bro. Have a good one. We'll see you later. Yeah, all right, brother. Thank you so much for coming on. Okay, guys. I'm just gonna on that parting wisdom of ice on, we gone. I'll share you a few photos of my trip to Arizona and the hockey games I went to. Brock Lesnar showed up to the Caps game, and Gila River is such a great place to go see a game, guys. Like I'm so sad that we won't see that again. Here, let me give you the share screen and let's do it one final thing. Yep, let's share that screen. Here we go. Let's see. There's Ovi and the boys and the warm-up. Yep, Ovi doing his stretch. The Caps, they won that game 2-0, I think that game was. Good game. Good game. We had a good time. Yep, the ice. This is just less than a week ago. Ice on, we gone, and we've been doing. Where's my most current photos? Let's see. And you can see now the ice is gone. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it, Dominic. Thank you for coming on this stream, asking some cool questions. We had the legend Ray. Check him out at Rayan_Tubeck on Twitter. I can show you that real quick just to promote Ray. He is an awesome. Let's see. There you go. He is an awesome. Here's Ray's Twitter. He does a ton of scouting and research. Good old Edmonton kid. Great guy. Awesome guy to have on. See you, Bacon. See you, Denton. Thank you so much for coming in, guys. Really appreciate you. Have a great night.